The iPhone is a smartphone made by Apple that combines a computer, iPod, digital camera, and cellular phone into one device with a touchscreen interface. The iPhone runs the iOS operating system, and as of 2017, there were 2.2 million apps available for it through the Apple App Store. For the iPhone, the disruption to the mobile phone industry happened years ago, and for iOS, the disruption to the laptop market is just beginning. The disruption in Apple comes from the understanding that people value features in a different way than everybody assumed in the industry. The user experience is essential. In the iPhone, the user interface makes the product easy to use. The integration with iTunes and the App Store allows people to enrich the set of applications provided in the phone. In addition to the way they handled the creation of the platform is a lesson for everybody. The more users, the more developers willing to create the applications, and the positive feedback makes the App Store more successful. I feel that the iPhone is single-handedly the most disruptive innovation of our time. It took a slew of different markets of expensive products, phone, internet, instant messaging, camera, music, navigation, television, and more, and put it all into one small, handheld, affordable product. Before, consumers would have had to spend much more money on each of these individual products, and Apple figured out a way to utilize all of these features into one, making it more accessible to the general public. The components that got massively cheaper thanks to the iPhone were the small LCD screens, flash memory, touch technology, camera sensors, etc. Apple quickly became the largest consumer of many of the parts that made up the iPhone, ruthlessly negotiated on price, and created an ecosystem of suppliers that would eventually supply an industry of numerous phone vendors. Screens, cameras, and memory now are everywhere, not just in smartphones. One of the most significant impacts of the iPhone and its smartphone competition has been the Swiss Army knife nature of the device. They replaced not just a cell phone, but a camera, calculator, music player, flashlight, thumb drive, and so much more. Within a few years, the elimination of the wallet will become reality for many as payment mechanisms and even driver's licenses go digital. Apple has changed the way the players compete in the mobile industry. Now everyone has an app store, and the touch UI for smartphones is a must. As it is the case, innovation is fundamental, and a good execution completes the work. It has changed our lives as we know it. I feel that what I have just stated previously really explains why I chose this specific technological innovation, because it has not only affected my life the most, but it has affected the world. My generation grew up with the iPhone. As the iPhone got older and more advanced, so did we. I remember sitting in the car with my mom driving and playing Candy Crush on her pink Razr flip phone, while she was looking at a map and using a CD to listen to music. Then as the years went on and I got my own iPhone, I was sitting in the car using my iPhone to navigate, play games, as well as listen to music. The iPhone has transformed everyone's life. It feels as if we are living in the future that has been depicted on television years prior. It has brought the world closer together in ways never before imaginable. The way that we are connected now to each other from all over the world has transformed the way that we communicate and have relationships with each other. Steve Jobs wanted this new product to be masculine, task-driven, and efficient. The design and development of the iPhone has a huge social impact because they encourage innovation in the cell phone industry. The success of the iPhone by those people tells the cell phone industry how important innovation is. Before the release of the iPhone, the cell phone market placed more emphasis on the configuration of the phone than its design. After the success of iPhone, the industry realized that a good design could result in huge success and generate a lot of profit. Therefore, the industry began to evolve and paid more attention to the design of the cell phone. One good example would be Samsung, a famous cell phone company that introduced an innovative cell phone called the Samsung Galaxy Edge in 2015. The phone had an innovative side panel display that allowed people to get more information from two sides of the phone. Most importantly, the design made the phone look a lot more fashionable than its previous models. As a competitor of the iPhone, the Samsung Galaxy Series C cell phone had long been criticized by its dull uniformity of the design. The success of iPhone pushed the company to innovate in order to survive in the market. Because the Galaxy Edge had an innovation design that people hadn't seen of before, the phone sold a lot better than its previous model. Therefore, the success of Apple in design and development gave the cell phone industry an incentive to innovate, which generated positive effect in the market. iPhone is a revolutionary and magical product that is literally 5 years ahead of any other mobile phone. That is a quote from Steve Jobs at the time of its release. Since then, Apple has sold more than 1.2 billion iPhones and has become the most profitable public company in the world. Copycat phones from companies like Samsung, HTC, and Motorola proliferated across the globe, and now even people in places without a steady electricity have smartphones. It's difficult to understate the iPhone's impact, radical research analyst Ross Rubin said. The ripples it has created affect wide swaths of our lives. When looking at the ramifications that the iPhone has had on society and culture, some may say it will ruin your eyes, turn your brain to mush, and kids will see things they shouldn't. The content is all just designed to sell stuff. It will destroy relationships, people won't interact with family and friends in person anymore. What innovation prompted these dire predictions? The television when it came out on the scene in the 1950s, and we're raising the same questions and concerns about the smartphone iPhone today. New technologies tend to have that effect on people who are hardwired to fear new things and worry about unintended consequences. They need time to learn how to understand and integrate new technologies into their daily lives. And the iPhone, being the most iconic smartphone, is only 10 years old. Humans are still learning to adapt to the new world it has brought. In 2007, when the iPhone debuted, people eagerly welcomed it, says sociologist Judy Walkman. In a world in which longer work hours, dual family earners, and 24/7 economy had been eating into personal time for years, it was viewed like mobile phones before it, as another helpful way to synchronize with family, friends, and community. But has that line between work time and personal time eroded even more because of this device? And has it become a poor substitute for real relationships, as with any new technology? The reviews are mixed. An iPhone or any smartphone in your pocket means you have constant access to a wide range of enriching and empowering activities. An infinite universe of knowledge is available through the internet. Innovative ways to connect and communicate can open up a new world, providing exposure to different people and ideas. Ease of communication can free people who now don't have to be physically present to be involved. The ability to take photographs and participate in social media can be empowering, allowing one person to share his or her perspective with millions. In fact, of over 1 trillion digital photos taken every year, 85% are snapped on iPhones. History shows that the human race has learned to adapt to many innovations, and it is likely it can adapt to this one too. But is multitasking with the smartphone really just like learning to iron while watching the television? While it offers many opportunities for positive and rewarding uses, there are also clear negatives to the iPhone. People can become addicted to constant connection and feel powerless and depressed without it. There's an endless pressure on kids to participate in social media. At the same time, bullying has spread from the under playground to this new arena. The business model of smartphone apps, with rare exceptions, is to constantly pull on your attention. According to Cindy Cohen, the executive director of the Electronic Frontier Foundation, the more transparency must be brought to the motives of those who market these apps, and that tech must serve people rather than the other way around. Concerns about surveillance, security, and privacy are paramount now that a smartphone can pinpoint a user's location at any point in time, and personal data can be accessed from the devices. However, she believes that the next generation of users will better handle the technology in ways that suit their needs. 10 years is not very long for people to learn how to integrate a new technology into their daily lives and into the fabric of society. Individuals and institutions are still adjusting to changes that seem to come at the speed of light. People must make conscious choices and both the advantages and dangers of